Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a while, but I am back. Welcome back to Conversations with Cierra. And today I'm coming on to share my 30 lessons before 30 because your girl is 30. Hey, we made it. Oh my gosh, we made it. So for the last 19 days, I've actually been sharing over on my Instagram. Hold up. Are you following me? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. If you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead right now. Follow me at sisterc.inspires. That's my inspirational page. If you want to follow my personal page, that's love always _Sister C, but Sister C Inspires is where things are popping. And I need to get my followers up, if you know what I mean. So go ahead, do that. You can pause the video, actually, pause. Go over there, and then come back and listen. So like I was saying, for the last 19 days, I've actually been sharing 19 lessons leading up to my 30th birthday. But y'all, my subscribers are actually getting all 30. So let's hop into them. Lesson 1. Oh, let me also say this. These lessons are in no order by priority. They're just how I shared them. So lesson 1. Dance it out. Find a reason to dance daily. Y'all, I love dancing. I do. I love dancing. But dancing also has great benefits. So it helps like your physical health, your mental health, your social health. Just be dancing, like walk it like I talk it. Hey, walk it like I talk it. Lesson 2. It's perfectly fine to ask for help. For so long, I viewed asking for help as a sign of weakness. Like, I'll just do it by myself. Like, Cierra, you don't do all things well. And that's okay. It doesn't make you less than a person because you got to ask for help. I'm going to leave that there. Lesson 3. Stubbornness stunts your growth. Funny enough, my pastor just this year has like preached on being anchored, the importance of relationships, the importance of discipleship. And now he's actually talking about being planted. I have the history of being stubborn. Like, I'm so stubborn. Woo. I say I want to grow, but then I get in my own way. I get in my own head. I'm stubborn in things, and it prevents me from moving forward. So stubbornness will stunt your growth. So if that's your issue, we here. You might want to address that. Lesson 4. Live in the moment. So just in my 2021, I've had so many things actually just take place, and I had no other choice but to just live in that moment, for real. We live in a phase or era in life now where, you know, everything is like post. But it's like, do you ever just take time to just be still and be in the moment? Live in the moment. Lesson 5. All attention isn't good attention. I shared in one of my videos about how God had delivered me from a situationship for about 7 years. And in dealing with that situationship, I was putting on hold or standby my calling, my purpose in life, living in deliberate disobedience, all for the sake of a ninja. I don't say that other word, so we're going to say a ninja. It ain't really worth it. Like, all attention isn't good attention. You don't need that negative energy around you. Lesson 6. It's okay to not be included, chosen, or considered. You're not supposed to be a part of everything. But I actually struggled with that. Like, that was actually a struggle when people did not include me or they didn't choose me. Like, even with the situationship, obviously it was a situationship, so the dude didn't choose me to be his girl. I was just one of his situations. That's not okay. But in other situations, it's okay to not be chosen. It's okay. It is perfectly fine. And it literally took this last year to actually understand that Going on to lesson 7. Connecting/associating with the right people makes navigating life and walking in your purpose easier. So similar to step 6 or lesson 6, it's okay to not be included, chosen. But when you have the right people in your life, it doesn't even matter when you're not included because you're amongst the people that you're supposed to be amongst. So one of my prayers walking into 2021 was actually for God to surround me with the right people. Not just the right people, but women and men who are truly after God's own heart, who could help me with navigating life. So it really don't matter if such and such don't hit me up or, hey girl, you want to go such and such place? Because I have my people. Lesson 8. Learn to communicate your feelings and needs. People can't read your mind. Poor communicating, non-confrontational, emotional, stubborn, avoiding conflict, shutting down, not knowing how to communicate, all your girl. I have to communicate how I feel. People can't read my mind. They will know that I'm offended because I can't hide my emotions. Like, I'm going to show it on my face, or I'm going to actually just shut down. Like, my body language is going to change. So you're going to know, like, I don't feel comfortable. But I need to learn to communicate that, or I'm learning to communicate that. Lesson 9. Expect the unexpected. As I said, this year in my 2021, I've had 2 flat tires on the side of the interstate where I did not own a spare tire, and my car had to be towed, and it cost money. It wasn't free. Expect the unexpected. Goes back to kind of like living in the moment as well. When the unexpected happens, you have 2 choices. You can just roll with it or you complain. Oftentimes I complain and then I roll with it, but expect the unexpected in life. Lesson 10. Being dark-skinned is beautiful. Like, it's actually beautiful. For a great portion of my life, I didn't view having a darker skin complexion, darker skin tone as beautiful because that's not what was in growing up. I had acne. I had the teeth that were throwing up gang signs. I got braces when I was 23 or 24. So just late in life. I was teased for my skin. I have a cousin. Her name is also Cierra, but it's like Cierra number 1, Cierra number 2, and not people didn't like compare us, but like if they had to talk about it, they were like Black Cierra, and I'm like, black? Like, you didn't? She was taller, I'm short. We're like complete opposite. Like, she's tall, I'm short. She's a year older than me, so it's just like, I don't know. I was just teased for that. And going back to that not being included, chosen, considered, because I was dark skinned, I guess I felt that like guys didn't like me. Like, they went after the like skin girls. But baby, this melanin is popping. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Brown skin girl. All here. We all here. You see it? Mm-hmm. It's cute. My dad also calls me dark and lovely. Why can't I talk? Dark and lovely. He always affirms that. And it's important. And I also say this. There is nothing that any guy can say to me to affirm me, because my dad does that. Like, my dad, excellent job in affirming me, speaking life into me. I can't really recall many negative things my dad has actually said to me about me. All of his words, for the most part, super encouraging. Like, he loves dark-skinned women, and he has multiple daughters who are this darker skin tone, and it's just beautiful. Moving on. Lesson 11. Your opinion matters. Like, my opinion matters. What I think matters. I need to stand. If I said something, that's what I meant. I said what I said. That's what people be saying now. I said what I said, period. My opinion matters. I'm not going to dumb down who I am. Like, what I said matters, okay? All right. Lesson 12. I was just talking about my daddy. But my parents aren't perfect. I actually said these words out loud for the first time in 2021. I accept my parents for who they are. I spent a great majority of my life trying to make my parents conform them into something that they were not. My parents are my parents. Their life choices, good, right, indifferent, led them to creating me. And based on those decisions, it made me who I was. Is it Faith Evans was like, if I could, I don't know, no, that's like R. Kelly talking about turning the hand back of time. If I had to do it all again, I wouldn't take away my mistakes because it made me who I am. Literally. I joke and say, oh, if I could go back and change this. But I'm like, if I change one thing about my past, it would not make me who I am. So I actually got to hold on to it because it's all a part of my story. Yeah, parents aren't perfect. Lesson 13. You do not need a man to validate you. You don't. A man does not complete you. It's a compliment. I've also heard this said, and I don't agree with this statement. So say you're dealing with a guy. This is a sidebar. So say you're dealing with a guy and you'll ask like your homegirl, like, well, I can't get over him. And then they say, well, the only way that you're going to get over him is if you meet somebody else and they kind of like make you forget about that person. Nope. It took 2021 for me to realize that I don't need a man to validate me. I need God to speak some things to me. And God can send people alongside of me to encourage me, affirm some things. But actually having a man validate me or feeling that my worth is connected to a man, nah, child, kill that narrative. I know who I am. I know who God has called me to be. I know what God says about me. I don't need a man. Like if a person is talking to me or not talking to me, my self-worth shouldn't be lowered because, oh, ain't no dude asked for my number. Okay, and what's the big point? Okay. Lesson 14. I need to roll through these. Your relationship with God will sustain you. I've said in my previous videos that I had this awakening or this moment with God in December of 2020 where I decided like I wanted to reset some things in life. I did a fast, did a devotion, and literally that God is legit my anchor. Like, God is my anchor. I'm playing it. I understand my relationship with God matters. It's gonna sustain me. It has sustained me. Very important. Lesson 15. It matters who your friends are. Oh, it matters who you're friends with. Shout out to my homies. They already know who they are. I appreciate y'all. I think I've told every one of my friends, I really appreciate you choosing me to be your friend. Okay. I'm going to leave it at that because lesson 16 is friendships are work. A lot of work. So none of your friendships should be the same. You should be able to have like tough conversations and woo child. Friendships aren't something that has come easy to me over the years. I've had conflict in the midst of my friendships. But then I realized the common denominator in all of my friendships is me. So maybe I'm the problem. I'm not perfect. I might be the problem. But friendships actually work because There are certain things that you need to converse about that may not be easy, and that's where that work piece comes in. Like, okay, I've been friends with you since we've been in college. We all are changing, so there's some things that need to be adjusted. We ain't talking about the same thing. What's your goals, aspirations, where you going? They work. We got to work through them. Okay. Lesson 17. Silence is loud. Silence is so loud. Have you ever just sat and was just still? Is it loud to you? Silence is loud to me. It is loud. It is very loud. And I don't even know if you will understand that lesson. But silence is loud. Silence speaks volume. Like, it speaks. Lesson 18. No is an answer. Going back to that other lesson. I said what I said. No is an answer. Stand by my no. If I don't want to do it, I don't want to go. No is an answer. Lesson 19. Life is all in what you make it. That's simple. That's simple. Life is all in what you make it. Lesson 20, because I did a previous video on being kicked out of therapy. But lesson 20 is therapy is actually dope. Even though I got kicked out of therapy or I had some issues with my therapist, therapy is something that I do plan on pursuing again in year 30 because it's dope. It was in those therapy sessions that I was able to sort through some things, and it's always this picture. I might have to find it and like insert it in the video, but it's like it's the ball of yarn that's all tangled up, and like the therapist is like helping you pull the things out. That's kind of what therapy is. Therapy is dope. Therapy is actually needed. You don't go to therapy because something is wrong. You go to therapy because it's right. Talk through some things. You ain't gotta have no issue to go to therapy. Lesson 21. Forgiving yourself is needed and important. And I'm going to hop right on into lesson 22. Positive self-talk is essential. Talk kind to yourself. Those two go hand in hand, and I ain't really going to hop into those. I may do some separate videos on some of these lessons. They may be separate videos. But let's hop into lesson 23, which I'm actually sitting in this one based on some choices I made. Like I said, that might be a separate video. Don't spend every dime you get. Yeah. Lesson 24. Journal often. So at the beginning of 2021, I actually started to do this self-guided journal that I got from the store. It's called The Standard of Grace. And the first lesson was the journal kind of be like, pop, pop. It like hit you and I'm like, whoa. The first question, it was like, whose standard of grace are you holding yourself to? And who told you had to be perfect? Like, you need to extend yourself grace. And that's kind of where the journaling often comes. So I use like my notes section on my phone. I just talk aloud. I started actually doing these end of the month check-ins on my goals that I achieved. So I've been doing that for the last 6 months, just checking in on like, what have you done well? What do you need to improve on? Just journaling, talking, getting it out. Like, yes, you can go to therapy, but your therapist isn't available to help you to process every little issue. Check in with yourself. Please check in with yourself. Lesson 25. Laughter mends the soul. I am a jokester. I laugh. It could be the saddest situation that I'm going through. I'm gonna find the joy in it. I'm actually going to laugh. The joy of the Lord is my strength. Yes, true joy. But laughter. Just something from the inside just coming out. I love to make other people laugh. It's rare that people are actually around me and they're not laughing at something I do or say, just like, what, Cierra? But yes, laughter. Laughter, smiling, like it takes more muscles to frown than it does to actually smile. Like you're using all this energy to be upset when you could just be happy, and it requires less out of your body. Lesson 26. Poverty is a mindset, and so is prosperity. I need to challenge my thinking because I'm gonna win. Like I said, that probably may be a separate video as well. These are lessons. But yes, if I can be completely honest with you, I spent a great portion of my life like in poverty. Let's face it. I was raised by a single mother, and wasn't rich. It was poverty. But prosperity is actually a mindset. And at the beginning of 2020, I actually changed my mindset to I have more than enough after my pastor had actually preached a sermon on or prophesying over our 2020 that we would have more than enough in life, just more than enough. I made it my wallpaper, and I actually walked it out every day. Abundance, prosperity. And it's not just with money. It's just I have abundance in life. Like I have abundance in health. I have more than enough. I'm not gonna walk in the spirit of lack because that's what's gonna come of it. But if I have more than enough, I have more than enough because God is more than enough. Like he owns it all. So why am I gonna have this negative mindset when I serve the God who owns it all? Does that make sense? Yeah, poverty is a mindset, and so is prosperity. I gotta challenge that negative thinking. I can't do that. Lesson 27: learn to do things alone. That kind of goes back to like it's okay to not be included, chosen. You gotta do stuff by yourself. So one of the things I actually started doing in 2021. Oh, I'm actually vegan. So it's a vegan restaurant that opened up not too far from my house, and I would just go there on Thursdays by myself. One of my friends had a podcast. She has a podcast. And I would listen to that on Thursdays. Like when I get off work, I listen to her podcast. I drive out there and get my food, rip and run for a little bit, and then I come back home. And it, like, do stuff by yourself. I invite people to go to stuff. Don't come. You think that stopped me from going? Nope. And I actually heard somebody say, like, you go to restaurants to eat by yourself. Dang right. I talk to strangers, but it's actually interesting because I don't really like meeting new people. It's kind of weird. Like, I like to just go ahead and already know you versus like just get to know you thing. I'm not gonna talk about it. Like, I actually tried to like make new friends in 2021, and it didn't work out as well as I wanted it. Lesson 28. Lesson 28. I actually wrote "You are called." In 2021, I actually finally accepted the call on my life to actually go higher in God. I don't want to say it sounds weird saying it, but actually accepting the call. So I've been going through training since January to pursue more in the things of God, but I'm actually called. And it's not shocking. It's just being obedient. My word for 2021 was actually, my words were obedience and, why did I forget? Obedience and being intentional. Those were the two things that I was really big on. And one of those things was actually accepting the call on my life. Like, I am called to be more. I am called to do more. I am called. I'm just going to leave it at that. Lesson 29. You don't have to pretend to be anyone that you're not. In life, in a job, in relationships, nothing, period. I don't have to pretend to be anybody. Like, I wake up every day and I get to be Cierra. I wake up every day and I get to be Sister C Inspires. I wake up every day and I get to be a daughter of the King. I wake up every day and I get to be God's royal priesthood. I don't have to be anybody else but Cierra. Like, the one that he knitted together in my mother's womb, beginning in 1990 and then kind of brought me to the world, like 1991, I get to be her. And that's something. I ain't got to be caught up in like trying to be somebody else. I get to be me. That's important. And lesson 30, we finally made it. We finally made it to lesson 30. And lesson 30 is, I don't have to fear turning 30. I actually need to embrace it. And I know 30 is actually when a lot of people become fearful of the things in life. Or I'm turning 30. Oh my God. As I said in the last lesson, that I ain't got to pretend to be anybody that I'm not. Your girl has accomplished a lot. At church, we be like, I ain't bragging, I'm testifying. So I'm testifying. I am a 30-year-old virgin. That's no shocker. That's a testimony of God's grace and mercy and covering of my life. I have a master's in social work, a bachelor's in family and child development. I have almost officially lived on my own for 1 year without the support of anyone. That's a big deal. I'm not bragging. I'm testifying. Like, people actually like me. People actually like me. Like, I am loved. It's beyond measures. Like, people's actual love and support for me is mind-blowing. I'm not bragging. I'm testifying. I actually am loved. But back to this lesson. I don't have to fear turning 30. I'm going to embrace it, or I get to embrace it. Do I have reservations about turning 30? Yes. And that's because someone fairly close to me actually passed away when they were 30. So those are the reservations that I actually have. She was my mentor. Her name was Candace. And she was my mentor from the time I was in middle school, so in the early 2000s. And she passed away in 2013, a few months after my graduation from undergrad, which she attended. She passed away on September 6th, which was 3 months prior to her 31st birthday, which would have been December 6th. So, yeah, those are in the back of my mind. It's just like, ooh, 30, that was the number that her life ended. But I feel at 30, I'm actually starting my life. Actually showing up as Cierra and doing what Cierra needs, wants, and is called to do. And that Beyonce song, like, I Was Here, anyone who knew Candace would be like, that sounds like something she would have actually said. Like, she lived each day with so much intention. Like, you knew what she was called to do. Like, she walked in her purpose. And that's what I want to do. India.Arie got a song, I Choose. And literally she says in the song, here I am looking at 30 and I got so much to say. Fast forward. I can't live my life for everybody. I gotta live my life for me. I reached the point or the fork in my life. Nothing's gonna happen unless I decide and I choose. I choose to embrace 30. My church has a statement of faith. So I have a statement of faith for year 30 and going on. And that's, I choose. I thank you all for tuning in and listening to my 30 lessons before 30. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll holla. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I ain't forget that. Follow me on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook if you want. I'm Cierra Small. But thank you so much. And tell me happy birthday. If any of these lessons actually resonated with you, leave them down in the comments. But for real though, I'll holla.